The powers of Adobe Acrobat and Microsoft Office 365 have combined to provide you with a new standard in document management. With a simple click, you can now create and manage PDF documents all from within your Office 365 applications. Organize pages, export PDFs, and combine files in Sharepoint and OneDrive. Create and combine PDF documents faster than ever. Even use Adobe Acrobat to convert Word, Excel, and PowerPoint projects into easily shareable files. If you're a current user of both Acrobat and Office 365, then the Adobe integration feature is already available to you. Just contact your IT administrator. Everything you need, now in one place. Adobe Acrobat integration with Office 365. Contact your IT administrator to get it today.
Hello folks, my name is Andrew Charles. I'm one of the Executive Sales Directors at CompNow, and today we're going to be talking about Adobe Acrobat DC. Look, many of you are already using some of the Adobe portfolio, but as an additional add-on and complementary suite of software to your Windows experience, I can't recommend this technology highly enough. I use it pretty much on a daily basis to edit and transfer PDFs from PowerPoint and Excel into a secured, manageable document. We have with us today Matt Davis. He is one of the senior system engineers at Adobe. He's going to do a little bit of a deep dive into what exists inside that Adobe Acrobat DC landscape. So I welcome you all now to tune in and listen attentively as we take you through the power and benefit of integrating Adobe DC into your everyday Microsoft experience.
Thanks, Andrew, and welcome to Exploring Document Cloud. I'm Matt Davis, Principal Solution Consultant for Adobe, and today we're going to take a look at some process efficiencies and modern workflow practices using the Adobe Document Cloud, more specifically Acrobat DC and Adobe Sign. So let's get started. Now, these days we've seen major disruption around the world. In fact, most organisations have to change the way they operate in what they call this new normal. And this is where Adobe Document Cloud can help. But what is Adobe Document Cloud? Well, it's Acrobat, desktop and mobile apps, Acrobat Standard, Acrobat Pro, the free Reader, and the free Adobe Scan app. We also have e-signatures courtesy of the Adobe Sign service. And these both integrate into other lines of business systems through out-of-the-box integrations through PDF services for Acrobat and through out-of-the-box integrations through Adobe Sign the service. And we'll also explore the integrations between Adobe and Microsoft through our Level 0 partnership. In fact, across the whole ecosystem, we're going to take a look at a subsection of these, and more importantly, how these work on an end-to-end digital experience. We're going to look at the three frameworks today: how to create, then once things are created, how to collaborate, garner necessary approvals, and then finally that last mile, how to execute a document or a contract. But first, let's talk about security. So VIP for enterprise and ETLA customers can take advantage of federated IDs, i.e. single sign-on through their IDP, meaning products can be assigned to users using federated IDs. If they leave, all the IP contained in any of our systems is then protected from the individual. If this is something that interests you, talk to your sales manager at CompNow. Now let's start our creation journey. Now first up, let's take paper to digital using the free app Adobe Scan, available on iOS and Android. This allows you to scan paper documents, use artificial intelligence for edge detection, apply filters, and then OCR the document when saving to the Document Cloud, so you can open it up in Acrobat and save it to somewhere like Sharepoint. Next, we can create using Acrobat DC. Simply open up documents and create, combine, etc. Also, a shortcut is if you drag your digital file onto the Acrobat icon, it will begin the Create PDF process. We can also create in Microsoft using one of the PDF services, courtesy of your Acrobat DC subscription. Here I can organize pages, combine files, export PDFs, and of course, create a PDF directly inside the Microsoft environment, whether I'm in Sharepoint or whether I'm in OneDrive. The benefit of creating with Adobe is we can use responsive on PDFs. Is this a good experience? No. How about we use liquid mode and make this fully responsive? Here, it's going to reflow the text, which I have control over the text sizes, etc. Now, this makes it a much better reading experience. I can use the bookmarks to navigate, even collapse sections, view charts, and then look at photographs. A much better way for the 21st century. So let's move on to collaboration now. So we've created our content from paper, from Acrobat, or from an integration to Microsoft or another line of business system. So I need to edit that. Now, Adobe Acrobat Standard and Acrobat Pro are renowned PDF editors, the gold standard. But what if I'm out and about and need to edit and all I have is a mobile phone? Well, let's launch Acrobat Reader, and via my login to Acrobat Pro or Standard, I can unlock features like Edit. So before I showed you the PDF services inside of Sharepoint and also in Onedrive, we also have the PDF viewer or PDF file handler inside of Sharepoint and Onedrive too. Let's have a bit of a look at how all those work. Now, starting in Microsoft Office, let's launch Sharepoint. Now within Sharepoint, I'm going to come into my home directory and I'm going to navigate down into my documents inside this team. And then I'm going to find my legal and compliance documents and then surface those. Okay, let's select my Word file, let's select the PowerPoint presentation, the price list, and the non-disclosure agreement, and I'm going to use to combine pages by Adobe. Here we're going to show the sign-in process. So the first thing here is I'm going to sign in to Adobe Acrobat Pro via my IDP. Next, we use Okta, so it's going to go for second level authentications where it's going to prompt me for my OTP PIN. So I send a push out and I agree to that on my mobile device. And then it allows Acrobat to run in the Microsoft environment. Here we can see the 4 documents are processing, and in a second their previews will come up and allow me then to combine those into a single PDF. Now once the PDF is creating, it then launches the PDF viewer or the PDF handler inside of Sharepoint and Onedrive. Here I can navigate to see any thumbnails of the PDF pages, and I can also take advantage of the bookmarks. Here you can see the 4 documents have been bookmarked, and I can also collapse those out. Now it's time for commenting. So now I can enter the comment page and we can have a near real-time conversation directly within the safety of Azure. Let's make a comment and change to lowercase. I'm going to post that for my colleagues. We can also use sticky notes. We can use strike through text. Let's put a little comment here, post that one. And we can also draw on the artwork itself and make comments. Now on my top right, you can see I've got my 4 PDF services. Let's save the document back to Sharepoint and let's go see that in the Sharepoint environment. So I'm going to deselect everything and there is my PDF being created. Now let's say I need to modify that, need to add fresh material, add fresh documentation, rotate pages, change information. We can use organize pages. So rather than going back to Acrobat, I can now do this within my Sharepoint environment. So up come my previews, and what I can do now is rotate things around. So perhaps I want the NDA up front, then I want the price list up there, and then finally the information about the project, and we're going to delete the last page. We can even rotate pages around. Once that's done, we're still in Sharepoint. I can then save those changes and do work here that I'd normally have to go back to Acrobat to do. And this same workflow also works in Onedrive. So let's get out of Sharepoint. Let's boot up Onedrive. Let's select our 2 documents we want. So document 1, document 2, and we go up to the top bar and I'm able to go Document Cloud, Combine Pages by Adobe. And we've also just released the same functionality in Microsoft Teams. Simply select a file from OneDrive or SharePoint, share it into a collaboration, open it up in the viewer inside of Teams, make comments, and have it as part of the Teams chat as well. And for those on desktop, we have the ribbon inside of Word, PowerPoint, Excel, And if you're using these tools online, you can create PDFs, even password protect them with the new integration to Office 365. And it's also in Outlook too. Once our document's complete and we've got approval, we might need to protect the document. So here we can apply passwords, or we can apply document restrictions like no copying, no editing, etc. You can also use Microsoft or Azure information protection, and that enables you to read labeled and protected content. Here in Australia, we have the Privacy Act. Now, organisations like commercial, government, educational institutions need to be very careful with the privacy of individuals. In fact, you can be litigated as an individual and an organisation if breaches occur. And if you're a government department or an affiliate, you also have the double-edged sword of the Freedom of Information Act on top of the Privacy Act. So protection and redaction is very important. Adobe Acrobat Pro DC is the gold standard for redaction. Organisations all over the world use Adobe to redact sensitive information. The Australian Cyber Security Centre recommends Acrobat as the tool for redaction. And Adobe Acrobat DC is right for every persona, with the human resources pairing recruitment, onboarding or offboarding contracts, C-suite executives doing larger contracts, sales, IT and procurement, or legal who are digitising everything into digital file formats. Acrobat can help. And for government customers, agency operations, digitising everyday processes and workflows, more importantly Office 365 integrations, counsellors, executives and the usual suspects, HR, IT, procurement and legal. So now comes time for the final step. We execute the document. So we've created our document. We've then gone through and edited it. We then collaborated that with our team members and garnered the necessary approvals. We may have protected it, but now comes time to do signing and approvals. The first way we can do this is with Adobe Acrobat. So here we can use the free fill and sign feature. Now it's not legally binding, however, we can still use it to fill out forms and apply a signature. But let's look at the legally binding option, Adobe Sign.
What kind of magic? What kind of magic?
Let's now look at a typical contract signing. So here we have a document that's made up. It gets internally approved, then it gets sent upwards to be finally approved by someone possibly in C-level. It's then sent out to a customer as a proposal. They look at it, print it out, and then maybe do something with that and send it back. It's then reviewed, perhaps rekeyed, and then a new contract is made up, and then the final contract is sent out, where the customer prints it, they sign it, they rescan it back in, re-email it. It comes into the organisation who have to rekey the information, scan the document and put it into their document management system. Typically 32 steps, 15 of these are manual and involve paper. Now contract signing with Document Cloud, as we saw previously and we're about to go into with the sign piece, we can cut this down to 7 steps. So the document contract is made. It's then reviewed. You can use a line of business system or you can use Document Cloud. We garner the necessary approvals inside and then we're able to execute that with Adobe Sign. So both parties can sign digitally, and the last 3 steps we can automate with Adobe Sign. Perhaps it's an automated update in a CRM record like Salesforce or Microsoft. It's automatically copied to online storage, long-term archive, and then we can notify billing systems, hiring managers, and anyone else with APIs and other integrations. And we can easily achieve this with Adobe Sign. We can do a send for signature using Adobe Sign the service. But let's take this one step further. Adobe Sign has integrations into 70+ pre-built line of business systems. So whether you're working in HR, procurement, IT, etc., we've got integrations across the board that come out of the box. And following today's theme, let's have a look at the Microsoft integrations. So Adobe Sign goes in across the entire Microsoft portfolio. So let's take you through a little bit of a document signing journey through Microsoft and Adobe Sign. Now, firstly, we can send out from Microsoft PowerPoint and Word from the plugins. We can also keep tabs on our signing from Outlook, even send for signature from Outlook. Now, I'm about to show you how integrations into Sharepoint, so sending out from Sharepoint itself, and the big one, all our integrations in Microsoft Teams. So let's go take a look. Starting in Office 365, let's launch Sharepoint. So Sharepoint launches, and what I'm going to do now is move into my team, into their documents, into the legal and compliance section as we did before. Let's select our contract ready for signing, and we can go to send for signature, agreement status, templates, manage, and also settings. Let's hit send for signature, and let's start to send this out. So in this situation, Adobe Sign comes to you where you need it. Now here, I'm going to be the first signer. This person is going to be the second signer, my customer or my employee. I'm going to choose my message template, probably personalize that, and I could hit send. But let's not do the demo from SharePoint. Let's do the demo instead from Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to launch into Teams. Similar thing here. Now the first thing I see when I get in here is I'm in the Adobe Sign chatbot. So we're able to pin that to the side by searching for Adobe Sign and locating that, and then I added it and pinned it to the side. Now we can also do this inside my team. So if I go to my Teams chat, you can see here's my post. There's the new Acrobat integration, and I can see here I've got a message to send out a mutual NDA. Now, like before, I've also pinned Adobe Sign into the very Teams channel. So over here, I can move directly from files once I'm notified, or posts, and straight into Adobe Sign. And just like before with Acrobat, I sign in with my credentials, so my IDP. Then I'm going to sign in with my Okta OTP tokens, and then I'm securely into Adobe Sign inside of Microsoft. Up comes the interface, and as before, add me as the first signer. I'm going to add this as my particular customer, and I can also change the roles. There's a number of roles here I can be. Let's leave it as a signer. I can also put second level authentication, like passwords, etc., and also private messaging. Let's now move down to the message template once again, choose our NDA, and I'm going to send this to Matt Signer, so let's personalize that. Now comes time to add the file. Now I can add the file from my computer. In this case here, I'm going to choose a pre-baked template. So simply choose that and attach it. Now, even though the contract's in English, I can actually choose one of 32 different languages to make the UI in a language that suits someone else. And that's it. We could preview and add signature blocks, but let's hit send and it's on its way. Now, waiting in Teams, I'm actually the first signer. So Adobe Sign comes right back into the interface. Here I could decline to sign or delegate, but I'm going to go through and sign the document because I'm signing on behalf of the company. Now it's removed my signature, but I can also change that. I can use a system font, I can use a mouse stylus or pen, upload a photo. In this case, I'm going to draw with my finger. Let's enter in my title, Human Resources, and I'm going to put a phone number. Now here we're going to mitigate risk. It's looking for 8 digits, 9 digits, not 10. So a landline or a mobile. Now here, I'm going to intend to sign digitally. That's one of the tick marks of Australian law for e-signatures. Now once that's sent and I've acknowledged that, I can keep tabs on everything through the Manage page directly in Teams. So here I can check all my statuses, what's in progress, etc., change templates, whatever. In fact, I can get into the contract, I can do things with that like hide it, cancel it, or I can even change out a signer midstream. So very, very powerful. And notice I did not leave Teams. Somewhere on planet Earth is my second signer. And they can be on any device and all they require is a modern browser, no proprietary software. Here we can see in Gmail, they've received their email. They can simply tack on the review and sign. Of course, we can do branding, and a modern browser then brings up the whole signing experience. Here they can only play a role in the fields and signature blocks we've assigned. So once it comes up, Of course, they can choose to decline to sign, or they may delegate if you allow. And then they start to fill out the form. So here I'm going to be Matt Signer. I'm going to put my location details in here. Notice the stars, they're mandatory fields. Then it moves down to the final block. So over here, I'm going to pop in my title. I'm going to be a freelancer for this particular company. I'm going to put in my phone number. Of course, we've mitigated risk, 8 digits or 9 digits, definitely not 10. And lastly, then I'm going to sign. Notice it remembered my signature. I've used sign before, but once again, I can use a system font, a mouse stylus or pen, or upload a photo. Now I'll sign the document, I hit the finish button, and I need to intend to sign digitally. So I say okay, and that's it, I'm done. Let's close this down and refresh my email. And as you can see, in a matter of seconds, I've got my final document come back with the PDF attached. Opening the PDF, we see a blue bar, the long-term validation bar, LTV. What this does is it guarantees the integrity of the signer. Here we can see an individual transaction number that's applicable. Also, if I try to edit the PDF, it's a locked document. It's password protected at the back end. Now, if someone hacks it, the blue bar will go red. Never fear, Adobe is here. Go back to Sharepoint and grab a blue version, put that back in front of the judge. But the real power is in the audit trail. Here I can see every step when a document was created, when it was signed by Megan Bowen, when it went off to Matt Signer, when Matt Signer viewed it, even the device he used, when he finally signed it, and then all parties were delivered. So that's what makes this legally binding in a court of law. And that's just one integration. Coming soon, we'll have live signing via Teams video conferencing. Set up the meeting, prepare the document, bring the document up in conversation in Teams, and we can have a discussion about the contract. Once happy, I can sign. I can then send it to my customer or my citizen to sign. And if I record the session, I've got a witnessing of the event as well. Also too, with the latest Microsoft approval, we'll have its live signing integration into that as well coming up. But my favorite option is the add-in for Powerapps and Power Automate. In fact, for Power Automate, we have many pre-built workflows ready to go. Whether you want to send from a folder inside a SharePoint when a file is added, if you want to extract information from the document as JSON, or get a notification in Teams, there are many popular features inside of there. And let me show you a quick little demo using Powerapps.
Hey guys, my name's William. Matt asked me to join you to show you a little bit of what Powerapps along with Adobe Sign is able to achieve. So if I go ahead and just open my browser, what we see here is I've got a Powerapp. This Powerapp is just linked to my CRM where I can see all of my customers that I've been onboarding. As part of this onboarding, I need them to sign a waiver. Anyone in red hasn't been sent the waiver, anyone in orange has been sent it. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on William and click on the email waiver button. What this is doing is talking to Adobe Sign in the background. Once that waiver's been sent, you'll notice that the date will pop up as it has just now, and an extra options have popped up. I click on sign in person, this opens an Adobe Sign session, and I'm able to get this person to sign straight away. Now I'm really quick at typing, so I'm going to fill this in really fast, fill in the document, and once I'm happy, just tap to sign. Now that I've signed that document, you'll see that the waiver sign date has come back and populated in my Powerapp, and when I go back to my customer list, what you'll also notice is that my name has turned green, and I can see that that customer is successfully onboarded. Thank you for watching my quick Powerapps demo. I hope you really enjoyed it. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Will. And apart from signing, there are many other ways to use Adobe Sign to fill out forms, approve documents, accept terms and conditions, and also certify to recipients that they've been served information. As well as there's use cases across the entire business, especially in this new normal where you've got people working from home or partial workforces working from home and some in the office. And just like Acrobat, Adobe Sign has a use case for every persona. From HR to C-suite and executives, sales, IT procurement and legal, there's a solid use case for them all in this new normal. And for government customers too. If you're doing agency operations, if you're senators, councillors, there's use cases for you as well. Now I hand you back to Charlesy, and thanks for listening today. Take care.
Thanks, Matt. That was awesome. Look, to everyone online at the moment, if you could please put your questions into the chat. We'll respond to you very quickly with any questions that you may have. Once again, Adobe Acrobat DC is the best attach that you can probably bring into your business with Microsoft. Very complementary to everything you're doing around file management, around document security, around transferring and editing PDFs on the fly, all whilst having a very secure cloud experience with Adobe and Microsoft. So look, I'll wrap it up there, guys. Thank you for your time today. We look forward to working very, very closely with you as you explore the Acrobat DC landscape into the future of your business roles. Thank you.